What is poppin', party people? It's Mikey124, and I'm back with another gameplay video. Today we got another episode of 2K Tuesday. This is episode number 5 or 4. I'm not sure what episode it is since I've been posting again regularly on YouTube. But we got ourselves a little bit of NBA 2K. Not 2K15, not 2K14, not 2K anything with a number behind it. Just NBA 2K. This game came out in 1999. 2K was... 2000, that's where the title 2000 or 2K came from. The fact that this game was coming out in 1999. For some reason, all the sports games always are released. Like if, for example, this year's 2K is 2K16, it'll be coming out in September. And even though it's coming out in 2015, it's for the 2K16 or it's for the NBA 16 season. So that's where this got started. I think this got started like on NBA Live and Madden games like years before. Like 2K definitely didn't start the concept of naming your game the year before it comes out. But yeah, are you guys watching this in the background? This is bulky. I love how this is their intro too, because like when I was watching this, a lot of it doesn't seem very flattering to not only their gameplay but also the graphics. Well, I mean, I guess the graphics I don't want to hate on because it is 1999. This is kind of awesome for 1999. But like that, for example, that guy backing somebody down, like that wasn't even a move. That wasn't even a highlight. That wasn't even anything. But I guarantee you the producers were like, oh yeah, we have this post-up ability. Let's feature that in our intro. But yeah, needless to say, this is a game that was originally made on the Dreamcast, and it has turned into a revolution nowadays. People are 2K crazy. There's millions of people playing 2K right now on all different systems, and this is the one that started it off. Sega Sports NBA 2K. So let's get started. Let's watch a little bit of this gameplay. I thought about leaving this as a whole long video and just playing the whole thing, but I don't think I'm going to commentate for 40 minutes. It's not too hard to commentate over a live game, which I've been doing lately, but commentating post over 40 minutes worth of footage is kind of interesting. But I thought, I'll just leave this on in the background so you guys can enjoy and kind of get a feel for what it was like to play video games back 10 years ago. More than that, 15 years ago. It's crazy to think that the Dreamcast came out 15 years ago or even longer. I think it came out in 1999, and the system failed so miserably. It actually was better than everything that was currently out. It was better than the PlayStation 1. It was better than the 64. The OG Xbox was not out yet. The PS2 was not out yet. The Dreamcast was the first system that was repping, I want to say, 128 bits. If any of my facts here are wrong, I'm going off the top of my head. I will fix them with with like a little caption over the screen stating how I'm an idiot and how, I'm just going off the top of my head. But yeah, the Dreamcast came out in 99, if my top of my head stats are correct. And it failed so miserably, and I personally believe it's because of the controller, which is such a sad thing because the controller is such an easy thing to fix. Sega had been competitive with Nintendo and other game companies in the 90s and in the 80s, and all the way up until this console. This was the last console that they ever made. And it's just a damn shame because it is such an amazing console and it has such amazing classic games on it that spawned off new franchises and new AAA titles that are coming out every year that people died to get their hands on, like this one. Also, Soul Calibur came out on this first. There's a handful of other games that came out on Dreamcast before they came out on anything else, and it's just a shame that a system that was so good could be basically put to an early grave because the controller was so bad. As you can see, the controller itself is big. It's really, really big. It's uncomfortable, and the biggest knock that I can say on it personally is that it only had one joystick. The PS1 had come out with the DualShock controller for a few games. I think Conker's, or I'm not sure the exact game, which was the first one that was really hyping the PS1 DualShock controller. The big gimmick that the the DualShock controller had was that it had 2 joysticks, and these 2 joysticks, while maybe Sega didn't think it was a big of a deal to have them at the time, it really seemed like they got left in the dust because the PlayStation 2 came out and then the Xbox OG came out, and all these systems had 2 joysticks. Even the GameCube technically had 2 joysticks. That was a couple years later, but still, for them to not add the second joystick was really neglectful, and the fact that they let their whole system and basically their whole franchise and their whole name go under because the fact that they didn't have a good enough controller is just mind-shattering to me, because Sega was probably a multi-million, almost like one of the biggest game companies in the entire world at the time, and for them to be like, oh, well, our controller is no good, so let's just abandon this whole Dreamcast project in its entirety, and let's just start licensing off our Sonic games and our different games onto the Xbox consoles and different consoles. Let's let everybody else play our games. Even Nintendo has themselves a copy of a Sega game. People recognize Sega for its old school novelty, but they didn't consider it to be one of the elite platforms to play new games on, and it had great games, like I said, like Soul Calibur and 2K and Marvel vs. Capcom, games that you couldn't find on other systems, and they were exclusively on Dreamcast at the time. You would think that the company would be like, oh, this controller is not working. Let's remodel this controller. Where, as I'm recording this commentary, it is the day before 2K Tuesday. It is 2K Monday in my mind. I do this a lot where I record commentaries before they come out because I don't actually have the time to record them on when they would come out. So, but yeah, it is the 27th of July, and the Xbox One came out not last November, but the November before, and we're sitting here with a new Xbox One controller out. 2 of them, actually. There's a new Xbox One controller that has a 3mm headphone jack built directly into the controller, so you could plug in your headset. And there's a new Elite controller that's like $150. It was basically like the Microsoft branded version of a SCUF controller with the paddles in the back and an interesting looking D-pad and remappable buttons. Anyways, this commentary is not about the Xbox One controller. This commentary is about the Dreamcast, and it's just funny that nowadays that if a controller is not working, even though the system is selling well, the Xbox One itself, Microsoft went ahead and nipped the problem in the butt, whereas Dreamcast let their whole ship sink, which is just, again, mind-blowing to me. If I'm the CEO of Sega and it's 1999, I have so many millions in my pocket that I don't care about burning a few more into research and development to make a controller that's going to work that players want to play with. And maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe this controller isn't the only reason why the system failed. Maybe you guys can give me some insight on why people didn't buy the Dreamcast. Everybody that I knew that had the Dreamcast loved it, and every time that I personally played the Dreamcast at a friend's house or at a party or whatever, I also loved it. I was jealous of people who had the Dreamcast. I never had a Dreamcast. My parents bought me the PlayStation 1 literally like the week it came out because we had moved around a lot when I was a kid, and I just moved to a new city and a new state, and I didn't have any friends, and my parents were pretty much just trying to buy my love and just keep me happy and keep me entertained and keep me out of trouble. And the PlayStation 1 was my gift in 1995. So 4 years later, in 1999, I don't think my parents really thought that it was justifiable to buy me a whole new console at a couple $100s, I'm sure. This I don't know for sure how much it was released for, but I'm assuming it was probably around $400 or $500 when it came out. So that's what the PS1 was, and that's what almost all these systems usually are when they come out. And it's crazy to think that 15, 16 years ago that the systems were still being released for the same amount of dollars that they are today. You would think that with inflation and like the raise of the dollar, the raise of cost of living, that these video game consoles would be a lot more nowadays. But I don't know, maybe it's just crazy that they were so much back then. But anyways, this commentary has been all over the place. I definitely appreciate you guys checking out the video, and it's got a nice little nostalgic throwback feel to it. I plan on posting a lot of retro videos over here. I mentioned in a video recently that I had recorded like 4 videos in a row, and they are kind of let's play. I say this all the time on my channel that like I'm gonna do a let's play, but like I really will. I've started a couple, and I actually have a couple done, but they are all old school games, like retro games, like Super Nintendo and PlayStation 2 and different consoles. And I don't know if I want to post those over here, if I'm gonna make a whole separate channel for them, or what I'm gonna do for them. But I basically have a ton of games, and I want to make a video out of all of them. And I basically plan on starting with I don't know, PS2, PS1, somewhere where my roots started, maybe SNES. I started recording some Zelda, but I've been having some trouble with my cartridge of Zelda, so we'll see if that ever gets posted. I hope all this stuff that I'm working on does make it to the channel eventually. I planned on posting 2 videos this weekend via the scheduled uploader. I was going to post the Xbox One free game, the Assassin's Creed 4, and the Xbox 360 game, the Gears of War 3, but for some reason my scheduled upload didn't upload, and yeah, it kind of chapped my rear end. But I posted that video yesterday with both videos in it. I re-recorded it, and yeah, hopefully that goes over well. I kind of don't like posting those free game videos when there's only like a few days left of the free games, because if for some reason somebody stumbles upon the video right before the game is not free anymore, after the game is free, I don't want people to think that like I'm posting old videos or irrelevant news and videos. So this 2K Tuesday has been awfully off the charts, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it's something a little bit different. You guys can hold yourselves over and look at this 2K Dreamcast footage and have some appreciation for it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys next week with some more 2K footage. For those of you guys who are subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate it. For those of you guys who are not subscribed to the channel, shame on you. Subscribe now. There are tons of videos that are going to be available on this channel, and tons of different type of content for all different types of users and watchers of videos. If you like 2K, I got that. If you like Battlefield, I got that. I'm posting COD again. I'm going to be posting free games on the PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and not to mention just random slew of old school games like this. I kind of wanted to post this 2K Tuesday, OG 2K Tuesday, as kind of a heads up as to like what I'm going to be posting, and just kind of like wetting you guys' feet a little bit to let you guys know that I'm going to be posting old school games, including Dreamcast games and different systems of and different games that you guys have probably never heard of. And hopefully my goal is to post some stuff on YouTube that people have heard of, and for some reason if they go Googling for it, maybe they'll stumble across my video. So like, subscribe, comment, favorite, do all that good stuff, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, take care, guys.
Williams has the ball and sets up the offense. Spots up. He's got 11 points.